that you're on your way. Cause I can't wait another day. And I know you wanna play. Girl, I know the spots that'll make you hot. Maybe ready or not, you know. Girl, I know the place. It's within your face. Tell me that you're on your way. Yeah, that you're on your way. Yeah, baby, don't keep me.
Take my mic. Take my mic. Take my mic. Take. Tony Tank, take my mic. DJ Rico, better be KO Productions, we putting it down, baby. Sing it to him right here, Tony.
I got a feeling I can't ignore. Girl, I've never been no so sure. Needing you more and more. Gonna show you what I have in store. Tricks and games that I wanna play. Just tell me that you're on your way. Cause I can't wait another day. And I know you wanna play. Girl, I know the spots that'll make you hot. Baby, ready or not, you know. Girl, I know the place. It's within your face. Tell me that you're on your way. Yeah, that you're on your way. Yeah, baby, don't keep me.
Hey y'all, hey Oh, hold on, my bad. Shoot, let me pause it. Okay. Hey y'all, hey. Happy Monday. I hope everybody's having a great day.
What's happening?
And y'all hear that in the background. Hey. Okay.
What's
Okay.
happening?
I hope everybody had a great start to their week. Y'all know it's getting dark early, so I know I got some people that's taking a nap, going to bed right now. Get up.
Wake up, my
It's only 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Leilani, Marguerite, Charles, hey y'all. How y'all doing? Hope y'all having a good day. So y'all see my title, She Lost.
That's Charlie. Charlie. You said Charles.
Oh, it looked like Charles. Oh no, I was reading that right there.
You said Charlie, not Charlie.
I don't know. Hey, I couldn't see.
Charlie.
Hey Charlie, how you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How when you say how you doing? Hey y'all. All right. So Shatrika. All right. So now, I done said that about 13 times. Hold on, I'll put the chapstick on because I'm about to talk. All right, so as y'all can see, from what I understand, from what I have seen, Brenay lost. I remember the last time we was on here, we was talking about, all right, so these are the players. I'm going to give you the names because I'm not really reporting. I'm just using their situation as an example. And I'm using the players as examples, but I'm going to kind of report. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a reporter. So the players are Brenay, who is being sued for alienation of affection by Akira, who was married to Tim. Brenay, who was married to Devin. There's also a sister, Corinne. And now we got somebody else in the mix, come to find out, because the reality is when you sue somebody, you go to court, your business is going to be made publicly. So now we have somebody else named Ashley, who, from what was reported on the many TikTok streets, that Brenay and her sister Corinne was fighting over a stud. So let's go. Let's go. Hey y'all. So for all those who don't know what's going on, because but actually the killer part is this shit that made it the Times. This not Time, but the People magazine. Like, what? That's the kicker. It made it the People magazine. Okay. So basically what it is, the story without the names, a woman got close to another woman because she wanted that woman's husband, because that was the the man of her dreams, her soulmate, somebody she'd wanted, somebody she had taken from her sister. Because from what I understand, the sister had the man first, then she fell in love with the man. And from what I understand, she just snatching out virginities all over the place. And I don't get it. But hey, I'm old, so I ain't supposed to get it. So basically, the story is one woman married somebody who was close to the man she wanted, made friends with the wife of the man she wanted, and eventually took the man she wanted and left the wife with 2 children, left her husband, and a big old mess. So that's what we got. So that is the crux of our story. That is the situation where we are now. So the wife, Akira, sued the mistress, Brenay. I thought it was $2 million, but come to find out it was $3.5 million. And today, from what I understand, the verdict was handed down, and drum roll, please. Old girl lost. As she should. As she should. Because what I tell y'all all the time, don't get your ass to court without a lawyer. I don't care how smart you think you are. I think I'm smart. I think I could get by without a lawyer, and I would not go into court without a lawyer. Because the reality is you have no idea what you're doing, the motions to file, the appropriate questions to answer, what you can and cannot get away with, what you need for these trials. No matter how much you research online, if you are not trained to do that particular job, that's just like me going into a hospital and being somebody's nurse. I am going to kill your family. Please don't let me in there. No matter how many tutorials I do on YouTube, somebody going down if I'm your nurse, because I can't do it. So here's my jam. Here's my thing. So during this trial, so much came out about the relationship between Tim and Brenay. Tim and Brenay are the bad guys. If we break it down to this, Tim and Brenay are the bad guys. Devin and Akira are the good guys. Then you got the outsiders. Corinne, the sister, who's also had sex with Tim. Another girl who they both dated at one point. I don't, it's intermittent. I was trying to figure out where they live, but I understand they live in Raleigh or some big city in North Carolina. And I'm like, is there no other people in the city that you can get? Oh, hold on, let's see. You know what I'm saying? Is there nobody else in the city to get it in? But like, hey, again, you know how people love to say the heart wants what the heart wants. The heart don't know what the hell it wants. Stop letting it tell you what to do. But here's what I think happened. I think Brenay went viral for something. I think she went viral for, a lot of people who don't have talent, especially when you have something that people can pick on, something can troll you about, being fat, being whatever. So I'm using fat because that's what I am. You make the decision when you go online and become a social media, anything, influencer, a content creator, you have to reconcile with yourself that people are going to be mean to you. People are going to be ugly to you. And if you have anything that people can talk about, they're going to talk about you. And you have to have a thick enough skin and enough love of yourself to be able to handle these situations. And I think what happens is, and a lot of times when people like that go viral and all of a sudden have millions of followers and have hundreds of thousands of comments and start getting paid, if the only thing you have is the fact that people can talk about you, you don't have any real talent, you're not funny, you can't sing, you can't dance. The only talent you have is to accentuate the fact that you have something that people can bully you about. And I mean, if that works for you, cool, do your thing, do your thing. Do your thing, do your thing, girl. However, I can't imagine that situation becomes old. It became old with us, but I am cool with me. I know that I'm fat. I know that I'm gay. I know that I'm married to a woman. Okay? You can call me all these things, and it doesn't negate the fact that those things are true. You can call me a bitch. I absolutely can be. Yeah. And you can call me all these things. But I'm reconciled with the fact that these things are true. But I also have other things that I can provide that people would want that doesn't necessarily bring about bullying and nastiness. I can sing if I want to sing, but can't do that on YouTube. YouTube, shut your shit off. I can cook. I can give advice. I can listen. I have other things. We have things that we can do that entertain people. If you get on here and you go super viral and you get all these followers and you don't have any talent or anything to back that up, you are left with trying to make the best out of whatever situation that got you into this situation. So I think that's what happened with Brenay. She is I do a lot and I get what you're saying, right? I think that what she did was, and I've seen a few content creators lean into the fact that they don't really have talent, but they do have the ability to accentuate what other people would consider negatives. They accentuate their fatness instead of trying to. I think it's like Brenay. I'm telling y'all, she got her boobs are big enough to when she sits down, they're sitting on her lap. No, we talk about people ain't got no lap because they stomach all the way to their knee. When she sits down, because she's compact, for lack of a better term. She's not really tall. She's compact, and her boobs are huge. And I got big titties, and even I go, God damn. And she accentuates that. She dresses like that. She's not shapely. She's all right. She really ain't that big. It's her boobs is big. She really ain't like huge and she just got these titties. Titty. I mean, she is the big, super big titty committee. And I think, and she wears these over lap titties. Absolutely. She got lap titties. Charlie. And she wears these over exaggerated nails with all these little, they're, I'm a nail person. I like nails. I talk with my hands. And I think that when I'm talking and I'm using my hands, I think nails accentuate that. So I like nails. My daughter does nails, so I'm cool with nails, but she over exaggerates them so that they're not to the point of, oh, her nails are pretty. You like, how's she wipe her ass? You know what I'm saying? If you see somebody with a smooth ass manicure, you're like, oh shit, that's smooth. But sometimes you see somebody and you're like, how she wipe her ass? I know she got to be stanky up under there. You know what I'm saying? So I think that what she does is she plays into the only thing that people really talk about her with. But the reality is that has got to be hard on you. Even if you think you got a thick skin. I mean, you can make the video and then cry after the video over with, but there can only be so much of that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that when she got into this, I don't think I can't believe that anybody wants the attention that this young lady is getting for what's going on in her life right now. I don't think anybody wants that attention. But I do think that people don't realize that you are subject to reality, even on social media. You are subject to real life. I watched, we was watching the show today, and it kind of ties into this. I was watching Steve, and there was a mother, a daughter, and a boyfriend. Boyfriend was Chester, and the daughter was like, she didn't believe me. I told her she didn't believe me, da 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 da. But when the second daughter came out, she said something that was funny. It shouldn't have been funny, but it was funny because of the way she said it. But not because of the way she said it, but because of the way the cameraman on the Steve show need another job. Hey, cool gamer. Charlie, okay. You know they may wash, but they usually don't dry between their Pharaoh. Oh, yeah. Hey, imaginary, hi. So, yeah, because see, let me tell you something. As a big girl, as an always big girl, I make sure that, especially now that I don't get around as well as I used to, and I can't do everything. You make sure, especially as a big girl, as a bigger person, you make sure you check them rolls. You check that. You make sure you smell it. I'm always checking. And even before, because I was heavy, because I didn't want to be. I wanted somebody to say, at least I always smell good. I didn't want to say that they spraying stuff so that I can walk by. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to say it without being ugly. The reality is, as when you have a situation, you always have to. I don't want nobody to tell me I'm funky to stop being funky. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Child, I may be a big girl, but I'm a neat freak. I'm clean and dry and smell it right. Absolutely. It's like we used to joke about Nick because little boy is funky. Little boys don't like to bathe. And I told baby, we were sitting here talking about one day, because I don't know what Nick did, but she came here and said, Nick smell like onions. old fried onions. I was like, well, what the fuck? I'm like, because I don't be up on him like that. You know, he come in and he come from school and stuff. He said, yeah. I said, what? Shit, ain't nothing we can do about that. I'm not about to wash his ass and wait till some little girl telling me funky. I bet he had all kind of deodorants up there. And not 6 months later, he was getting deodorants and body sprays and body washes coming in there. Mom, you got some extra body wash here? Smell like some flowers. I don't know. Go ahead. So it's not until somebody lets you know. But as an adult and as a woman, because people look at us differently. I don't care what anybody says. Society looks at women differently. They hold us to a different standard. We can't have bad days. We can't have bad hair days and wear our Crocs, our jogging pants, and a too big sweatshirt to the corner store. Somebody see us. The first thing somebody gonna say is, why you went out the house like that? Why your hair looking like that? Why you like that? Even though everybody else, every other man in the world can will go outside with a dirty white beater on and they drawers hanging out and won't nobody say nothing to them. But as soon as we didn't brush our flyaways down on the side of her head, y'all out there talking about why her head like that? Why she dressed like that? So women are always held to a different standard. Hold on. My son was the same. I think all boys are like that when they're young. Absolutely. I don't know what it is about water and boys between like, I don't know, what was it like, baby? Like 11 to like 13, 14. It was like let me tell y'all something. The reality is that ain't none of us gonna change something we don't think is broken until somebody other than your parents tell you. Because kids look at us like, yeah, they just telling us stuff because they our mama or daddy. It's when they friends tell them. It's when a stranger say, "Oh, you stink," or "You smell good." Either way, the positive and the negative. The reality is that most people respond better to strangers with positive and negative comments than they do with their family because they think we just doing it because that's something we as parents or siblings or whatever supposed to do. But if a stranger come up and say, "We smell good," they gonna want to keep smelling good. Stranger comes to you and go, "Oh, you need a Tic Tac." Then they gonna go get some extra brushes. You know what I'm saying? So hold on. Yeah, them preteen years are rough on my boy. Baby, it ain't rough on me because as soon as I ain't washing no more ass, I'm fine. I told him I buy the soap. I kept the soap in there because when he was young, when he was infant to like kindergarten, he stayed in the bath. He was damn near a prune. He stayed in it. He was a little raisin, a little yellow raisin in the bathtub. Soon as he got to school and was playing with other little kids, and I guess all the other kids smell like hot outside grass and dirt, he was fine. And it wasn't until some little girl told him. I bet some little girl said he up on there. Man, I don't even know because Nick is not like he's not overly flirty. So shit, it might have been somebody in the locker room saying, "Boy, you stink." You know what I'm saying? But it's not until an outside force tells somebody that something's right or wrong that they pay attention. Because our family, they don't pay attention to us, not for real, till they get grown. So, but anyway, I'm getting off topic. So I look at her and I don't feel sorry for her because she's an adult. I don't feel sorry for adults because as an adult woman, I don't need my wife. I don't need a stranger. Hell, I don't need none of y'all to tell me whether or not I should wash my ass. I don't need none of y'all to tell me whether or not I know I wear a 42G that I need to make sure and I need to check and make sure there ain't no crumbs up under them. I still got fat rolls. I need to make sure that it ain't no biscuits growing out of them. I don't need nobody to tell me that. So as an adult, I can understand if she's been like that her whole life. She got them boobs early and it's hard when you're a kid, but you're an adult and you are 100% in control of your situation. However, a lot of us internalize that and it comes out externally as doing too much. And I think that was what her thing was. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a therapist. I don't have any degrees and I'm not diagnosing her, but as a social media person and as somebody who is big and know that I can be the butt of jokes. I know that I can be the victim of trolls. I know that people they get mad at me, or they don't like something I said, even if it has to do nothing to do with physicality. They will use my physicality because it is something to be used. As somebody who can empathize with her, I think that because she doesn't have any discernible talent that she can fall back on, that she falls back on the caricature of the big titty fat girl. Hold on. Hey, Magdalene. You see what I'm saying? So she accessorizes that. She'll wear. Now, here was a problem. Here was a problem that a lot of people had when she was making videos at Akira's house with Akira's husband, was the fact that she always had these liberty ass shorts on. And she always had no bra on. And people were like, why you around that lady husband like that? Why you always got your titties hanging down to the floor? You know what I'm saying? Why are you like that? And I think she just played into it. But what happened was she brought her private personal life to the internet. And here we are. You're being sued because instead of you and Tim being grown-ups, and Tim telling his wife, I don't want to be with you anymore. I love Brenay and I want to be with her. Instead of Brenay telling her husband, I don't want to be with you anymore. I want to be with him. Instead of being adults about their situation, they did some sneaky, underhanded, some grimy shit. At one point, Brenay was staying with Tim and Akira before Tim and Akira broke up. Brenay said something to the fact that she was being abused by Devin. So they let her stay in the house. But she was disrespecting the house she was staying in. She was always walking around in front of her friend, because at one point these couples were doing couples videos. At one point these couples were hanging out as friends, best of friends. So you are disrespecting your best friend by having your ass and your titties on her husband on camera for millions of people to see. And people were even like, why is her ass always out when she is around? I mean, you've had people sit up there and make videos before this, before all of it came out, before all of it shook out, before the past year of Tim and Brenay. You had people going, why is her ass always out around that lady husband? Why she ain't never got no bra on around that? Why she always making videos with her best friend's husband? Because I don't think a lot of the backstory had come out. So a little bit of the backstory is Tim has been with Brenay's sister, Corinne, before he got with Akira. And people are even suspecting that one of her children is by Tim. It is said that Brenay and her sister have competed for partners before, men and women. That's fine. That's what siblings do to some extent. Not most siblings, but some. You have some siblings that do that. And they're twins. They're identical twins. If you look at them, you'll see. I would never walk around a married partner naked, uncovered. That's disrespectful. Absolutely. I can't imagine being Akira and watching this and not having any concrete evidence, not wanting to feel like she was being jealous and over and people saying she's just it's nothing. We're just friends, and people gaslighting her into making her feel a certain way that she's making something out of nothing. I can't imagine her watching this. I can't imagine Devin watching this. And my wife is over there up under this man and lied about me putting my hands on her when it's been said it's actually the other way around. At one point, Akira's grandmama came over there to get Brenay out of the house because Brenay was disrespecting the house on another level, not cleaning up behind herself, always up on that lady husband, just doing disrespectful stuff. She even put her hands on her Akira's grandmama. She pushed her grandmama. And Akira, as the video came, as the trial was going, these things were coming out at trial. And Brenay trying to be a lawyer and cross-examine the grandmama said, well, if I did so much to you, why you didn't call the police? She said, I don't need no police. She said, I can handle myself and I can handle you. I was like, okay. She said, don't let this cane fool you. I was like, all right, grandma. But if you would disrespect somebody, grandma, you know she was disrespectful. And imagine if the things at one point, I want y'all to go over to TikTok and just put in Tim and Brenay. Just put in Brenay. Don't put in Tim, because then that'll bring up her older videos, because I blocked her. So I can't pull up any of her, just her videos. So that'll pull up more of, if y'all have blocked her or haven't seen it, pull her up. I don't know if she has a YouTube channel. She might. And just look at old videos from a couple of years ago and understand that at some point, because the husband and Tim kind of look alike, okay? At one point, they all kind of looked alike, because Akira has since lost weight and Devin, the husband, has since lost weight. So, huh? I don't know. Hold on. I don't know. See, this is why you can't let friends move in your house or even have certain family members. That's true. But the reality is that it's not necessarily the friend or family member. It's the person. And I'm going to tell you something. People bring their representatives in friendships as well. Especially if the only reason she was befriending this girl, because Brenay had knowledge Akira didn't have in the beginning. Brenay knew Tim. Brenay knew she liked him. Brenay knew she wanted Tim. Akira didn't know that. So Brenay went into this situation, went into this friendship with an ulterior motive. She didn't, an ulterior motive didn't just develop. She went into it. And I am sure that there were signs. But a lot of times when you're in a situation where you're with friends, you try not to be jealous. And you try not to make a mountain out of a molehill, because we don't know how Tim treated Akira. We don't know the dynamics of their life behind the camera and behind closed doors. So, I wouldn't have a partner I couldn't trust. Absolutely. And that is the thing. Akira shouldn't have to look out for Brenay, because Tim should have nipped that in the bud. And if Tim wanted to be with Brenay for whatever reason she wanted to be with Brenay, he should have left her. Now, to that end, what I was saying was, I think that the fantasy that Brenay had about her and Tim riding off in the sunset and living off the money that, from what I understand, at one point Brenay was making thousands of dollars a month. And she got to have some money, because you don't just whoop $3.5 million out the air. Okay. So at some point, she made money, stacked money, whatever. But I think that the fantasy that Brenay was having about her and Tim was not reality. Because if you pay attention, I was watching a video when Baby was doing the intro, and there was a video of them in what looked like a Walmart. And she, again, I don't know, either she didn't have a bra on in Walmart or she had a bad bra on. And she had on these little shorts with her ass cheek, the bottom of her ass cheek out. And she's one of them that ain't got, she flat in the back and everything is in the front. Her whole body is in the front of her. No booty, no back per se, and she's short. It's all in the front. She's round in the front. And most of that is a boob. I don't even know if the girl got a stomach. She may be flat. Her stomach may be flat as hell. She may be 1700, 24, 36. Because you can't see her stomach. I don't know if the girl got a stomach. She looked like she round all the way around, but I don't know. I'm not disparaging her stomach. I'm just saying what's disrespectful is let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. So I'm going to show y'all this shit. Because as a member of the Big Titty Committee, if my wife was doing this and filming it, if DC was doing this and filming it, hold on, I'm going to tell you which one it is. Hold on.
Just exposed himself.
Let me see. Oh, here you go. Huh. It is not on her channel. Hold on. I'm going to pause it because it's on somebody else's channel. No, it's on TikTok. Go to somebody called, hold on, she's helping me out. My sister tried that with an ex of mine. With my ex, he came and snitched so fast, he was scared to do it. Well, I mean, that's reality. Either he wanted your sister, he didn't. He wanted you, or he didn't. The reality is, my problem with any of these relationships at any point in time is if you know you're going to disrespect your partner on that level, let your partner go. Don't sit up there and hold on to her, because you'll have a much better chance of getting your partner back. All right, so baby, look at this person, Poyun. She's making a video about what I'm talking about. So y'all can see what I'm talking about. It should be, hold on, let me see. Let me go back to the beginning. All right, you'll see on there a girl in the corner. Yeah, and then you'll see three pictures. One with her and I think that's Tim. I don't know which one, because like I said, they all look alike. It's three pictures. One with her and a boy, one with her in court, and one with a dude standing behind her and look like Walmart. You see that? All right, play that. Let me show y'all how disrespectful this is.
You already told us.
She about to play it for y'all so y'all can understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, this is she was she was not appropriately dressed for court. She didn't know what she was doing. And she makes these videos. And my thing is as all right, y'all can see what I'm talking about. Can you let the video play?
Sign up
Now
for this
they're in public.
life. Like, I know this. Like, she
Now
literally
watch
thought she was
watch
just
the
gonna mess
bottom.
with this
Oh,
man,
go back. Can you go
get
back?
married to this man, or whatever she thought she was gonna do, and it was gonna be. I know for a fact Brenay did not sign
See
up
what
for
look
this
at this.
life. Like, I know this. Like, she literally thought she was just gonna mess with this man, get married to this man, or whatever she thought she was gonna do, and it was gonna be all peaches and cream. People are literally showing up to her court appearances to record her, and she's like, you can tell she's like so over it. Like, was it really worth all of this with this man? Like, I know for a fact she did not
All
believe
right,
all
you
of this
stop
was
it.
gonna come behind messing with BBL Tim. Like, it is so funny. Like, I'm not gonna say like a person is too invested
But
to be doing that or whatever, but it is the fact that
all right. So y'all saw what I saw. Him behind her, grabbing on her boobs, rubbing on her boobs, putting on her ass in the store. It's disrespectful. And she's right. I I don't I'm not I don't think she signed up for this life. But she kind of did. I agree and I agree and I disagree. I think she signed up for this attention. She recorded her doing the things that she was doing with that girl's husband. She posted about the things she was going to do and how they were going to be together. She made videos disrespecting this girl on a level that she would fight somebody about. However, I thought, in my opinion, she did it because she thought that there was going to be a happily ever after, that there was going to be some kind of great love story between her and Tim. But what she got was a dude who would disrespect his partner for some random bitch. That's what he got. Because you have to think about it. If you find yourself with somebody that has a partner and they're willing to disrespect their partner, not just by sleeping with you, I'm not going to even go there. But because it's a lot of women that are in relationships and will fuck with a married man because they know that they ain't got no problems. They ain't got to worry about nobody telling them what to do. They ain't got to worry about none of that. I'm talking about actively pursuing to take somebody's husband. And if this person will actively go with you on this and disrespect, it's one thing to leave your wife. That's fine. Or leave your husband. That's fine. It's one thing to fall out of love with the person you with and go with the person you want. That is absolutely fine. I have no problem with that. In the perfect world, marriage would be permanent and you would be in love with the person you decided to marry forever. But that's not reality. The reality is that life, situations, and environment changes you and changes relationships. And one day you may not want to be there. And I'm sure we all know people that have stayed in relationships way too long. So I have no problem with you leaving your spouse. My problem is with you not leaving. And I think that's the problem. Because here, quiet as it's kept, the thing about it is, Brenay was learning a whole lot in court, not just her trying to hurt Akira's feelings, but she was learning a whole lot about the man that she disrespected her husband for, because she thought that Tim and Brenay were not having sex. She thought that Tim and Akira were not having sex anymore. She thought that Tim and Akira were, she thought that Tim was disrespecting Akira for her. She thought that Tim was just there. I don't know why she thought Tim was just staying with somebody. She was listening to Tim lie to her, telling her, talking about, I didn't really never want to be with Akira. I just got with Akira because they forced me to marry Akira. She wasn't pregnant. They didn't force her to marry him. Didn't nobody put no gun to that boy's head. There's something that he wanted from Akira, and to achieve that, he did the ultimate. He married her. And then he had 2 kids by her. And then she almost died from a miscarriage, having a third. And then she got her feelings hurt and her heart broke by the man that she said vows to, because he openly disrespected her on a regular basis on social media. And then he got in front of the court and lied about stuff until Akira, who had a lawyer, he ruined my friendship by trying to sleep with one of them, and they felt uncomfortable. He told them I would believe him, and I wouldn't have. You stayed with your ex too long. I feel you, Charlie. All us people, we have stayed a whole lot longer than we should have stayed in a lot of stuff. Some people do it and it's just sad, and some people do it and it's bad. But so Brenay thought that she had it all on lockdown. She thought that her and Big Booty Tim was going to ride off into the sunset and have this fairy tale. That's that same shit I don't understand. Fairy tales that start off as horror movies. I don't understand no shit like that. That's just like, I don't understand when somebody marries an inmate and then wonders why the inmate ain't the person she thought it was. You didn't know him. You got what fantasy, what knight in shining armor can't get a job? Can't rent a car. Hello? I'm glad I left and found something much better. Absolutely. But I mean, it is what it is. The lessons that we have to learn are not going to come from goodness and light and sweetness. Most of our lessons, most of the lessons that hit us the hardest come from times of sadness, come from times of devastation, embarrassment. Yes, because okay, now this is going to sound like body shaming. It might be. I don't know. I'm old and I don't really know what's considered body shaming and just talking about people. However, Tim is rather shapely. He got them hips that Brenay needed to offset them titties. So maybe that's why they're together. Because if he stand behind her and she stand in front of him, they make one perfect body. I don't know. But anyway, that's not me. But come to find out that Tim was selling Brenay a bit of goods just like he was telling his wife some bullshit. He was telling Brenay that, no, I don't want to be with her no more. We ain't having sex no more. I didn't really ever want to marry her. I love you. I want you. I need you. I want you. And that's what he's saying. That's not exactly what he's saying, but that's a synopsis. Come to find out, when Akira's lawyer got up to cross-examine Tim about his lies, I think his name is Kennard. Oh, Montague. I don't know what his last name is. Mr. Tim, is it true that you were still having sex with your wife even after you and your wife broke up and you went to live with Brenay? Okay. Tim's like, yes, I was not having sex anymore. Well, sir, what about these text messages? And I mean, they went into great vulgar detail in court about the things that he was sending his wife via text messages. I don't know. Maybe he forgot. Maybe he thought she erased the text messages. Maybe he thought he was special and had magic and he just sprinkled some shit from his phone in his house and thought the text message would disappear. I don't know why people are stupid, but they produced the text messages that he was sending his still wife, because they were still married and weren't divorced yet. about the sexual things that he wanted to do to her. And they were graphic. And I'm not going to go into them here because it's nasty and it was not necessary. But needless to say, he wanted to impregnate her for a third time while he was making videos and talking shit with Brenay. Now, here's my thing. And I'm sure Akira entertained him because she loved her husband. Because I'm sure she saw what the hell Brenay was doing. I'm sure she thought that it was her fault and that if she did and she would do whatever she could to keep her man up until a point to where she saw it was detrimental to her and her kids. I'm sure she because she didn't look like a stupid girl. She just looks like somebody in love and they want to break up her family. I hear that all the time. And I hear myself being cynical because I am of the get the fuck out. I'll deal with the repercussions. I'll deal with the sadness. I'll deal with the depression. I'll deal with that. But then I also have to realize my children are grown. And the only person that would have to deal with the breakup will be me. And I sometimes say that when I'm talking to y'all and doing these talks, and I'm like, just leave. But I listen to so many people on social media and on television talk about, why didn't you leave? There one lady, she said I watched Karamo today, and they've been together for 6 years. 5 of those years, he's cheated on her up until recently. And they don't have any children together, but she was like, we got a blended family. I don't want to break up the family. She didn't say that stupid, well, I love him shit, but she did. She just said it in a different way. And I listened, and Karama was nice and sweet, talking about they gonna get it together. He's still gonna cheat. Because let me tell y'all something. I get it. He's a therapist and he knows shit I don't know. But the reality is, if you allow somebody to cheat, if he's been cheating on her for 6 years, he's gonna cheat on her for another 6 years. Until nobody wants him. Do y'all understand that? Do y'all understand that most people, men and women, cheat because somebody wants them? If did nobody want your husband, you wouldn't have to worry about it. But because he can go out there and he can sell somebody a bill of goods, some bullshit, about how he's unhappy at home, about how they're getting a divorce and they're separated, and they're basically separated even though they stay together for the kids, and that we're not even sleeping together anymore. Do y'all understand that as long as you can say that bullshit lie right there that people have been telling since the Stone Age, and you can get somebody to want you, somebody gonna cheat, especially if you're cheating on somebody that won't leave you. I don't know. See, that's why I tried to stay. It was for my kid, and I should have stayed that, and I shouldn't have stayed that long. When you share kids, it's different, and you take more than what you normally would. You do. You do. But the reality is what we really forget in those situations, and that's what I want to say, is that it's our relationship. It's not our kids' relationship. Even if you are the parents of said kid, your relationship with your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, it's not your kids' relationship. We subject our children to our bad decisions or good decisions. It's not always bad decisions. Sometimes it's good decisions. But that relationship is separate from our relationship with our children. And we cannot continue to act like they're the same thing, because they're not. And if we are thinking of our children, the reality is what our children need, what our children desire, is for us to have for our children want a happy, healthy parent, one that they can emulate, one that they can be like when they grow up. And you need to be the kind of parent and have the kind of relationship that you would want your child to have. And if you are not in that relationship, and if you are not with the person that you would want your child to date, if your child's father or mother is not someone that you would want your child to procreate with, why are you still with them? And we have got to start thinking like that. My relationship with DC is not my relationship with my son, and their relationship with each other. That's not the same. But if DC was whooping my ass and treating me dirty and having bitches in and out the house or going to meet bitches, that would affect my son because I'm sitting there trying to keep a relationship together that I wouldn't want him to have. We stay in these relationships because we stand for the kids. We're not. And we got to reconcile that lie. We stay because we are staying, not because we want to do something for them, because our kids hear us. Them children, Akira's 2 children, heard, and I'm going to tell you, they heard they daddy fucking that girl in their house. They heard that. They see how their daddy was treating somebody that was not their mama. And I fought Akira right there because she should have put that nigga out and that bitch with it. Because I don't care if you're blind. The only thing I would accept is blindness. Because you had to feel that energy. There's a certain energy when you want somebody. Because you can't stop how you act. Hold on. It's me. I'm at your back door knocking, Miss Lisa. I understand. I'm really not. I'm just using your comments. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. She say, hold on, she coming. My wife does all that. Because I beat and blocked you. Messing with me, your ass will be in timeout. So, I mean,
Thank you, Miss DC, for opening the door, child. I was at the front door, then the front door went open, so I went to the back door.
see, that's the thing. I didn't here's the thing. Hold on, y'all. Here's the thing. I don't do the button pushing because I have timed people out that I was talking to. And I was like, why they ain't saying nothing? And then somebody said you timed me out. I was like, I didn't do shit. But I did because I touched it. I didn't mean to. So I don't do that. She do that. That's why I try not to go live when she not where I can do that. Because
Yes.
I would have messed up the whole life.
Well, no, I come up here because, like, I to add to the situation, I was in a situation not exactly like that one. The woman, I had a sister that lived with me who tried that with my ex. My ex was a cheater. Now, when it happened, when she tried to hit on him, he come snitch like a mofo. He thought he was gonna get some serious trouble. He come running snitching. But he did ruin friendships. He was trying to hit on a friend of mine, my best friend at the time, and I wondered why she blocked. Like, I tried to call her, I couldn't get no answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not knowing what's going on, right? He had
Right.
used my phone to text her like it was me. And at first she thought it was me, because me and her used to joke around about grabbing each other's booties all the time. We friends, right? And so at first she thought it was me. Then she realized it started going too far, something I wouldn't do. And she's like, oh, that ain't her. And then he basically told her, well, I'll tell her, she'll believe me, she won't believe you, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know any of this until way after we broke up, because she just ghosted me, and I didn't know why. And it was all him. But I stayed too long. 3 years was too much. My son was only 2, so he doesn't remember it. But I'm with the agreement with you. Sometimes we have to think about what's best for our child. I started thinking, and what made me leave was, do I want my son to think this is love? Do I want my son to think this is how 2 grown-ups should treat each other, and to see his father drinking and doing these things and thinking that it's okay for a man to treat a woman like that?
Absolutely.
I'm so glad I did, because I waited 10 years, but I found my one who tomorrow they're going on Father Sunday because there's a new hamburger at Sonic. They got to have their pretzel burger. Okay. And he calls him daddy as my father. And I'm blessed with that. But this lady that you're talking about, I've heard about this. Is this the one where the wife is taking them to court for suing them for cheating?
Yeah. So today was verdict day. because I didn't see a jury, so they had a bench trial, which means you don't have a jury. The judge decides whether or not you win or lose. You can do that in a criminal or civil case. You don't have to have a jury. You are afforded a jury because that is a part of your rights in the Constitution, but you also have the option to only have to convince a judge that you're right or wrong. So they didn't have a jury, so there was no deliberation. So the day was the day, and she lost. She lost to the tune of $3.5 million. Now, a lot of that money, when people sue for large amounts like that, like Cardi B sued Tasha K and won. Now, will Cardi B get all that $2 million she got from Tasha K? Probably not. Because Tasha K still getting sued to this day because she didn't learn a lesson. But a lot of that comes as punishment for what you did. Now, is she going to come out of pocket? Absolutely.
Yep.
And
Court
here's
costs.
the thing. Not just court costs. She's going to have to pay some of that back. Will Akira get that whole 3.5? I doubt it. She might. I don't know what Brenay's financial situation is, but here's where Brenay, here's where when I say get an attorney for anything having to do with a legal situation, criminal or civil, I mean this is why. Because what happened was, instead of Brenay having all her money, her finances, anything of value in a trust prior to the court case, it was after she knew that her estate was going to be up to grabs that she tried to put it in a trust, and that's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
So anything she has that's of value, they can liquidate to pay Akira. You need an attorney. She was going to lose because the reality is, I don't know why people think that the internet is private. I don't know why people think that social media, that YouTube and TikTok and Instagram are private places that nobody else can access but them. The reality is, all the evidence that Akira needed was on TikTok. All of it. The videos, the way that she would look at Tim, the way that she would touch Tim. People don't realize it's not just overt stuff. It's little bitty things. It's that when they walk by, that brush against the arm. It's that lingering look that's 1 second too long. And I'm sure Kira saw all that. And when you're sitting there and nobody's just overtly fucking in front of you so that you can say, haha, I caught you. You feel some kind of way. You feel crazy. Because you sit there and you look. Why is she looking at him like that? Why he laughing like that? And then a little voice in the back of your head is just saying, you just jealous. It don't mean nothing. He love you. Because you want to say he loves me. You want to say he would never do that to me. But the reality is if he's done it once and you said, okay, and he's done it twice and you said, not again, and he did it a third time and you said, not a fourth time,
There's going to be a fourth time.
there's going to be 104th time. I was watching, and the killing part is, I guess, because when you watch something on TikTok, they keep sending stuff that's related to that. So there was a clip from a divorce court where this woman, she was on there with her non-negotiables. She had 2 rules. He broke both of them, and she didn't do what she said she was going to do. You got one more chance. You had 2 non-negotiables. You had 2 steadfast rules. He broke them both, and you still are there. Now, she ended up, he ended up getting served with divorce papers in divorce court, and she ended up saying she was going. But the reality is, even the person that has the most steadfast rules and think they are above everything can get caught up because we try to rationalize and we try to. How many children do you have?
I have 1.
Okay, you like me, got 1. I didn't bring no whole bunch of people around mine.
I didn't either.
So the reality was, Nick didn't really have to act like his dad wasn't in his life. So there wasn't that. There wasn't no baby daddy drama like that. And there wasn't no whole lot of uncles and aunties that that DC had to contend with.
Same on my side.
But she also never treated him. She also didn't treat me any kind of way. Because I'm in a lesbian relationship, I wanted my son to understand that affection and love and showing somebody that you care about is not a bad thing. So I didn't do anything like overtly nasty, but I always held hands with my partner. I always kissed my partner's cheek so he can understand that if somebody really loves you, they're going to show you and they're not going to disrespect your child in the process.
Yep. Could not agree
So,
more.
so when I say that's why I wasn't really talking about you so much, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't want to mess up Kiana because I think that's Kiana unapologetically.
That's fine.
It's not.
That's
Okay.
QI.
Oh. Okay. Anyway. Hey y'all. Hey y'all.
Hey QI. Hey QI, how you doing? You done changed your name again?
So I baby messed me up. Hold on, wait a minute. My whole train of thought was up.
But now
Yeah,
look, like
hold
here's the thing. I showed like even my partner. I stayed single for 10 years.
on. Okay.
And I dated myself, me, myself, and I,
Okay.
because I didn't want to. I have a friend who's done what we talk about the polar opposite, where
Right.
they've had this one and that one in and out of their kids' lives, and that one of her sons looked at her and said, "Mom, you cared more about yourself and men than you did me." That's one thing I never wanted my son to ever say to me. I never wanted him to look at me and say, "Mom, you cared more about yourself than you did me." So I waited until I found the right one. You get what I mean? The
Right.
one that could be in his life and be that stepped up parent, be that amazing person, and the person I knew that was going to be my forever. And I made an amazing decision, and he chose in his own time to call, my husband dad in his own time. I didn't make him. He made that decision. But I don't have like the baby David drama. I ain't heard from this man since I saw him was. I heard from him once when he was 2, once when he was 6, and another time when he was 10 because he wanted to get back with me. And every time I said no, he disappeared again. I was like, all right, bye. Because I was, you know what I'm saying? Because I was single. He thought I was waiting on him. No, no, sir. Not for you.
Absolutely not, Satan. No, 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 no.
I rebuke you.
In the name of Jesus.
Yes, ma'am. And so, and I get like you want to show affection. My mom and dad were affectionate. There's a difference between being affectionate and just being nasty.
I think what happens is, especially because baby, how old am I? 59, 50, I'm 58. I don't even know how old I am. Shit. Anyway, so and I think that we were raised by people that the show of affection in front of their children was not something they did. And I didn't want that because I didn't want my son to be stunted in any way. I didn't want him to think that sex was evil and bad because that's where we get kids doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing too early. That's where we get teen moms. We got whole TV shows about teen moms like it's a cool excuse me. Like it's a cool thing. When back in my day, shit, that was right after they were sending girls away when they got pregnant. I'm the generation right after that.
Yeah, I remember when I was in school, we had 2 girls. And back in those days, in our time and age, they were shamed. They were made to feel terrible about it. And it was a stigma you didn't want to be. You know what I'm saying? So even I was afraid to even do something with somebody's child. I was over here like I seriously was a virgin until I was 19. I lost my virginity after high school because I didn't want to be. Because one of my friends, she was the one on her very first time they had been boyfriend and girlfriend for years, popped up pregnant. I was like, yep, I don't want that to be me. No, do Jesus. I'm going to finish my school and I'm going to worry about my books. You know what I'm saying? I got my first boyfriend senior year. We didn't do anything until after high school. And even then, I already knew about protection, but even back in the day, if you think about when they used to teach us sex ed and stuff, there was a time when they wouldn't teach you that at all. They would teach you abstinence only.
And that, see, that's the thing. I get it. I get it. And the reality is if children knew what we know, if our kids and the young people knew had the experience that we had. The reason that abstinence works and adults go years without having sex is because we have the experience and the knowledge they don't have. But there is an issue with children. When you tell children what not to do, that's
They
the
gonna
only
do it.
thing they want to do. That's the only thing. And I'm still like that to this day. Ask my wife. She tell me don't do something, and all I want to do, I be sitting over here like a crackhead. All I want to do is what the hell she told me not to do. And it could be anything. It could be anything. She could tell me to hush. And I'm like, who the hell you talk? I ain't even got shit to say. And I'm going to find some shit to say. You know what I'm saying? And I and I understand it.
Don't eat that pepper, and you ate that pepper, and it was hot too.
I don't want the hot shit in my mouth. But just because, don't tell me what to do. You ain't the boss for me. But in the back of my head, the little crazy person that run around on the circle in the back of my head be like, bitch, she ain't the boss of you. Eat that motherfucking pepper. She can't tell you what to do. Now see that bitch ain't got no good sense. See that the hamster on the wheel in the back of my head that make me do dumb shit. I don't even know what that is, an eternal hamster that will never die. I will be 80 with no teeth in my mouth, still going, I'm gonna do what I want to do. So, but I'm grown and I can handle what comes with the consequences to my actions. Children don't have that experience. So if you don't actually tell children, and I mean realistically tell them, because when I was young, I had sex too early. I did. I was looking for something, and there was nobody telling me why I shouldn't have sex. I was logical enough that if you'd have told me why, or helped me with why I thought it was necessary, then I would have had enough sense to go, maybe not. But nobody was telling me that. All they was telling me was keep your dress down and your drawers up, and everybody in this house will be happy. I didn't understand that. And I was also looking for something. What people don't realize, a lot of times when young people have sex, it's because they're looking for something they're not getting at home. And I really feel
places.
Right. And if you don't have experience or wisdom or the age to back that up, because let me tell you some good shit. It is people my age making bad decisions about dick right now. It is somebody right now, 58 years old, about to get on the wrong dick at the wrong time and gonna mess the rest of her life up.
Oh yeah. Happens all the time.
It's not just youth. It is the fact that we don't have the information, or we are not processing something, and we're using sex or this person as an escape. And I really think that it plays into what we were talking about with her. She, like I was talking about on the Steve I looked at, about the mama who had the boyfriend who had touched her girls, and the mama didn't believe her. So when her second daughter came out and Steve said, well, why do you think your mom? And I was that's why I said I didn't finish the story, because I get a little ADHD sometimes.
I'm ADHD too. I'm following.
I have not been diagnosed, but sometimes when I be bouncing around on situations, like me and my sister get to talk, and we got 3 conversations going on at one time, and we are starting a conversation, or we're finishing the conversation from 1972. I think I might have a little ADHD, but so what I was saying was and it kind of tied in with the Brenay in that situation. TC.
That's my sister from another mister. Hey, TC.
So the daughter said, my mama fat and she don't think nobody else gonna love her. That's what the daughter said. But then what made me laugh, see, that part wasn't funny because I felt that. What made me laugh was the Steve cameraman and how he took a picture of them. I was like, you ain't have to make her look like a toad.
He
Get her wrong. She looked like her head didn't fit on her body. You know how something real big at the bottom and they got something little thin on the top?
Uh-huh.
I was like, y'all, you know what? The cameraman get extra $1 for that, because that shit was funny. It should have been, because I understand that. Because growing up, I thought that if a guy was interested in me, I didn't feel the beautiful that people said I was. I didn't know how to take compliments but I didn't look at myself and go, oh, I'm this, I'm that. I think it was because I looked so much different from the person I love most in the world, because I looked different than my grandmother and I wanted to look like her. So I didn't think I could be beautiful, because to me, she was the most beautiful. And because I looked so much different, maybe I internalized it. And it came out wrong. And that's what happens with young people, young women, even men and teenagers and young adults, we don't know how to handle our situations. So we do other stuff. Sometimes we're violent. Sometimes we're sexual. Sometimes we're so introverted, you don't even know a person is alive because you ain't talked to them in 6 months, but they still there, but they just don't talk to anybody. So I think that's why she allowed what is happening to her publicly to happen, because this boy told her enough stuff to make her feel beautiful while not treating her as if she were beautiful. My thing is this: my wife and I have been together for a long time, and we've had no downs, but we've had a couple of dips. And never in that whole time of me feeling bad about myself and situations or what's going on, and she ever made me feel anything less than immaculate. And when
You got a real one.
and she shows me that, I feel that. But that took time. That took damn near 50 years to get there. Y'all get what I'm saying? This shit don't happen overnight. And if you got somebody who is doing enough good line to make you feel it, even though it's not true, because the reality is, if Tim wanted Brenay and really wanted her and wanted to have a relationship and build something with her because that's the love of his life, then he would have found a way to get out of his marriage with Akira, take care of his kids, and not disrespect either woman in the process.
Yep.
I could crock this up to them being young, because the reality is that youth plays an issue in relationships. It just does. How you navigate relationships has a lot to do with your experience, your wisdom, and your knowledge. And if you don't have any of those things, you're going to navigate it like a novice. And sometimes that works out because you get another novice. But the reality is that a lot of people who don't know how to navigate relationships successfully fall prey to people who need something from somebody but don't want to give anything from themselves.
Yep.
And
I
that's
get
the
that.
problem.
I'm gonna say I was young when I got me and my first ex, we were first together.
Thank you,
So
TC. Uh-huh.
even though when like even back then it was like, oh, you went to a house party without me and you sleep with that girl, and so I broke up with you. To this day, I'm still like, I'm cool with that ex, because here's the thing. That was just us being kids. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? We wasn't ready. We thought we was ready at 19. We wasn't ready. You know what I mean? And we were meant to be each other's first, but not to meant to be each other's everything. You know what I mean? And so
Absolutely.
I don't see a problem, with that ex. Now my second ex is a whole nother story. Um, but so when it comes to relationships, you're gonna have things like, if he wanted, let's say he really did, like he fell out of love with his wife, like you were saying, and he wanted to be with this person. He could have done it in a respectful manner. First off, don't cheat while you're with somebody. If you don't want to be with somebody, just leave. Because
That's my thing. I don't understand that. That's my thing. That's 100% my thing. Because here's the thing: there are times when you are in a relationship and you find yourself noticing other people. Now, you don't know if it's you've just gotten comfortable, if y'all are not conversating and talking anymore and understanding each other, and you find yourself drifting into places you didn't drift before. That's one thing. But if you know that this person is not doing what they did for you, and that nothing you do or nothing they say is going to change that, and you can't have a conversation with that person, then that relationship was destined to fail from the beginning. Because I should be able to go to DC and go, you know what, this ain't working. Just as easily, even though it's a hard conversation, just as easily as I can go to her and say, I love you and I'm never going anywhere. And that sounds ludicrous. You shouldn't be able to easily say no as you are to say yes. But the reality is, if you love and respect the person, just because you're not in love with them anymore and don't want a relationship with them does not negate the fact that at one point this person was your everything. And you should be able to go to that person just as easily with a no as you can with a yes. And if
Yep.
you can't, then this situation was destined to not be great. And that's what you want. You want the greatness. I can't imagine. I can't imagine there's any situation or opportunity that DC would have me in Walmart. And first of all, her ass her ass cheek was out in them shorts, and that's how she was around him when she was still with her husband Devin. And they were doing couples videos. That's how she would dress. How she was dressed in that little clip I showed y'all. It's how she would dress with her husband around somebody else's husband.
Mm-mm.
But I can't imagine a scenario, even if DC and I were in our 20s, like they are. Now, I've had people, now my baby has came up behind me because, it's a lot of junk in the trunk. She's came up behind me and pulled my shirt down because it was a bunch of. And I've dated somebody who used to walk behind me because I can't have the ass. It just you can't. There's nowhere I can put it.
They just
It's not like I
wanted
can
to
put it in my
look while you walk.
There's no way I can put it. It ain't like I can take it out and put it in my pocketbook. We'll be out. It's there. And I've had people, or stake their claim, throw their arm over my shoulder. I've had that, but I've never had anybody disrespect me by grabbing my titties and hunching on my ass so that we could post it on TikTok.
I've never seen two people who are supposedly married to other partners do that either. Because you respect, I'm going to say this, I'm a married woman, and when I come on these panels, and I've had men that are single hit on me because they don't know I'm married at first, or if they just met me, right? Mm-hmm. The first thing I'm saying is, hold up, wait a minute. I'm a married woman, happily at that. Please don't disrespect my marriage. Thank you for the compliment. And then most of them say, yo, my bad, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And we cool after that. But I always bring that up because here's the thing. Do not disrespect your partner in that manner. That's disrespectful as hell. I'm not going to be walking around some other man or woman half naked. You know what I'm saying? That's his.
Right.
Just like I know that between y'all two, what's yours is yours and yours is hers. And y'all don't be giving out the goodies to other people. That's y'all's goodies.
You bet not, because I'm a little crazy. I just mean what it is. Boy,
Miss Lisa, like, I will cut a hoe. I do not share my crayons.
So I realized that I can leave. There's gonna be a moment in there between, you know what, fuck it, and leaving. That there's a moment in there where the crazy kick in, and I'm like, oh, I'm about to go to prison. Okay, that's what's up.
I'm about to cut me a hoe in the name of Jesus.
I feel, and she know that, but then I know that about her too. So I'm not, but then I don't want nobody. The reality is, I don't know if it's the age or the fact that when you're with somebody that you're not supposed to be with on some kind of spiritual level, you feel it because there's not a sense of peace and settling. You feel like you're tiptoeing on eggshells. You feel like there's always one extra thing that you have to do so this person will stay with you. And a lot of times you can't even articulate it because you don't know why you're doing it. You feel like if I don't watch this TV program, it's as small as watching the TV program that they like instead of the one that you like. It's as small as I know they like they like the way that this smells, even though I don't really like the way it smells, they like it. And it comes to the point where you're like, you get into that routine of that, but that's not a good relationship. That's not, it's not good.
You should be content. I'm going to say this. If you find the right partner, you're going to be so content. You don't even think about nobody else. That never crosses your mind. And same thing. And if your partner, if somebody does come on to them, they're usually come to go, hey babe, you gotta hear about this. So I was at the gas station. This chick tried to hit on me, or somebody hits them up in the inbox. They come show you the stuff and laughing about it because nobody else matters.
Or because when I was bartending, now I'm a bartender, and partial flirting is
part of it.
Required. But it's not really flirting. That's just who I am. But as a bartender, you got a different level because people used to sit at my bar for hours and just talk to me. And that's really what I'm doing with y'all. I'm bartender talking. Maybe that's what I'll call these situations. That's what I'm doing. I would sit there and listen to people and they would ask me advice and they would talk to me about their situation. And I would learn things from them on top of saying, what I was thinking because that's what they wanted. And But I would come home to her. There was a guy that used to come in there. He came in there twice. First time he didn't say nothing to me. He just sat at the bar. We were cordial, and I was laughing and joking because I had the majority of my bar patrons that were sat at the bar were regulars. I knew what they ordered. I didn't have to ask what they wanted. I knew what they were eating. I knew what they were drinking. Most of my regulars didn't order. They just sat down. So every now and again, I would get somebody like him, and he came in the first time and he ordered. And we were laughing and joking, and I would go down there and talk to my regulars, and I would run back down and check on him. And I could tell he was looking, but I mean, again, I have a lot of ass. And the reality is, if you like ass, you're gonna look at it. I like ass. I do. I like ass. I would sit up there and watch it. I had watched Megan Thee Stallion video an abnormal amount of times, and going, that's a child, and then I'd flip off. Because I'm damn near 60. But the reality is, it is what it is. But so the second time he came in, I remember what he wanted. I asked him, are you still drinking the same thing? And he said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, are you getting something else to eat? He said, no, I like that. I said, cool. He said, you remember what I ordered? I said, yeah. I said, that's what I do. That's my thing. And he was like, and there was nobody at the bar that day. So I could focus more on him. But a lot of times I would go down to the end of the bar and I would help or make drinks or something. So he came, I was walking back from getting a drink for a server, and he was asking, he was like, hey, can I get your number? And then I lifted up my hand and I said, because this was after I got engaged. And you know how some dudes want to take it there. He said, well, I don't see no wedding man. I said, well, it's invisible. He said, well, you ain't married yet. I said, but I will be. Well, what your man gonna do? I said, my wife is gonna be fine. He's like, oh.
And then they're gonna try to think, does she want to join? And you're like, no.
I had one person say that, and they caught me on the right day, because sometimes you'll catch me and I'm nice. Most of the time you catch me and I'm nice. Sometimes you'll catch me and I'm like, I done had enough of these on today. So they was like, well, she can join. I said, no, she can't, because she'll fuck you. And I walked off.
That was a good one.
And I walked off. And they were like,
They didn't have nothing to say to that.
I was like, no. Because when I first came out, I was still talking to my baby daddy. We weren't doing anything. But when I first came out, I was still talking to him because we were still communicating about my son. And I told him that I was talking to somebody and it was a girl. He was like, I can join. I can watch. I said, you ain't gonna want to see that. Sir, this is not what you want to see. She look like you. She's like, huh? I can join. You want to get fucked? See, that's where I got it from, because that's the first person I asked. I said, you want to get fucked? He was like, what? I said, baby, I'm not dating nobody that look like me. Not that I wouldn't, but just so happened the person that I was talking to at the time did not. And that was the last time he asked. I think that when men hit on lesbians, they have this porno picture in their mind of half naked lesbians having pillow fights and fucking. No, that's not reality.
That's what they be thinking, though. They be like, oh, I get two for the price of one.
Nah, baby, what you gonna get is bent over. What you gonna get is bent over.
You don't want them problems.
So I really, you have people that try to holler. I knew a lot of the guys that sat at the bar was sitting at the bar because they like what they see. That's fine, because I brought that money home, but I never disrespected her. They always knew that there was a her. And because I even had one dude, he was like, I be flirting. I said, yeah. And he said, but I see you on me. I said, baby, let me tell you something. If I was single, I would flirt back, but I am not single.
Oh, our TC wants to hit the link.
Oh, it's right. I don't know. It's up there. She's like, hold on. She putting it back in. But I'm glad you did that, because I don't be looking at the chat all the time because I take my glass off and I can't see. Because I was just talking.
I get that way sometimes too, and then I look down and go, oh, okay.
That's why every now and again y'all hear me go, oh, let me put my glass on. That's what I be doing. Cause I just be talking. Cause I lay my phone down, and just talk. But
You got the gift of gab.
you can't. I started waiting tables and bartending back in 1989.
Before I was born, no, right after I was born. I was 2 years old.
If you say before I was born, I was about
No,
to throw
I
my
was
phone.
two. I was
I was about to
two.
throw my
I was two.
phone, and we was about to end this line the hard way.
I'm gonna get hit. Hey, Lisa, go knock me upside the head. Y'all will be over here on the
But
floor.
the sticks. But no. But I started waiting tables and bartending in 1989. And when I first started, my sister was like, "Bitch, you gonna get fired tomorrow." I was like, wait, what? Because I had an attitude. And I tell y'all all the time, when I was young, I was about it. Now, could I get my ass whooped? Probably. Did I give a shit? Absolutely not.
And did she ever
However,
Nah, never. Nah,
probably.
never ever.
But did I give a shit? No. Because you was about to go home with at least half my foot in your ass, even if I limped home with the other one. But that was just what it was. However, the reality is when I have a job, the one thing, and here's why. I don't like people telling me what to do. And you need to tell me what to do nice. Talk to me nice. Because other than that, I'm about to snap. And I don't know why. I can't tell you why one person can say something and then the other person say it and I want to fight them. I can't tell you. I tell you all the time. I don't know. Like I said, the hamster in my head is crazy. So I don't know. But she was like, you got a bad attitude. You're going to be cussing people out. I said, maybe not. And the reality is that I wanted to be good at what I was doing. And to be good at what I was doing, I couldn't cuss out customers all the time. Now, have I cussed out customers? Absolutely. Because you
They
ain't got
always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So if some people come at you correct and they say it in a correct manner, they both people could be saying the exact same thing, but depending on how they say it is how you gonna react.
right. So yeah. So I can't tell you. I mean, I could be fighting, cussing with somebody, and then somebody on the outside say something reckless, and I forgot about them, and I'm on somebody else. I don't even know why, but I'm older now, and that's a little different. So
Also,
I
if you're in the back, TC, let us know because Miss Lisa don't be looking and Miss
hold on. I
DC
can't
take
see.
care of
Hold
it.
on. Oh, she ain't back there yet. Hold on.
No, I'm just making sure. I was letting her know verbally so she could hear it out my mouth.
Cause I shook because my glasses is off, and I can barely see the. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
See,
It ain't easy
I'm
for me.
helping out. I'm helping out. I'm being your glasses today.
I ain't mad about the co-host. Hold on now. But I don't, because it gets hard. Because I like to tell baby all the time. Because sometimes I ask her questions, and sometimes she'll be like, "I ain't in it." Because I feel crazy when I ain't talking about it. Even though I know that's the gig, I know that when I go live and don't nobody get up on the panel, that's fine. And but sometimes, especially certain conversations are good to have other
Bounce off somebody.
other ideas and things like that. But the reality is that with this Tim and Brenay situation, I think that Brenay, so I'm talking about her right now. So when I say young lady, that's who I'm referring to. I think this young lady got into this situation thinking that she was going to come out with a knight in shining armor and they were going to ride off with a fairy tale to this castle of love. But the reality is that if he'll disrespect his wife, he's going to disrespect you because you're now his wife. If he is going to lie to his wife, he's going to lie to you. And if you are not important enough for him to break up with his wife prior to getting with you, you're not going to be important when he decides somebody else can take your place. When them big titties ain't big enough no more. When that flat ass is too flat. When your mouth is too reckless. Because the reality is that you don't love the person. You love the image. This is the image that you are portraying to the world because social media is your money. And make no mistake about it. That's why we go live. That's why we do what we do. If you're a content creator and you're making content for the world, it doesn't matter if your world is only the amount of subscribers you have. The reality is that you put your life out there. You put your everything out there. And you got to understand that you got to deal with the consequences of that. If this young man was not willing to do right by the woman he married, he's not going to do right by her. And I don't think that kicked in until she had to listen to when Tim finally got on the stand And he was confronted with the lies that he'd been telling her. Because when she got on the stand, because eventually, because she was the defendant, she got on the stand and to be cross-examined by the other person. I forget what they call it. The lawyer was like asking her questions, and one of the questions was, "Do you believe everything Tim tells you?" And she said, "Yes." "So you don't think Tim has ever lied to you?" She said, "No." She was on the stand first. Then Tim gets on the stand, and he lies because they have the text messages of him still trying to hook up with his wife after he's left his wife and is living with Brenay. Still having sex with his wife while they're still married, because there was a time before they got divorced where Tim was still married to Akira and Brenay was still married to Devin. And at being confronted publicly, because you had people coming from all over the country, content creators using her as content. Like I'm using her as content right now. But these people got on the airplane, got in their car, got on the bus, got on the train, planes, trains, and automobiles to go down there to record to report the news of Brenay and Tim and Akira and Devin. And I don't care how thick your skin is. I don't care how right you think you are. If you every day you walk out of the courtroom, half of the majority of the people there to see your downfall. These people weren't there because they were, you had people that were on Brenay's side, but the majority of the people there were there to talk about Brenay, to talk about how bad she looked and how reckless she was, talking about how what she wore to court was disrespectful. Why she in there looking like that? I mean, you had a lot of these content creators, like even the girl that showed the video of her with Tim grabbing her titties in Walmart. They weren't showing her in a good light. They weren't showing the good side of Brenay. They were using her downfall and her disrespect and the disrespect that Tim had for her as content. And I don't think anybody signs up for that. I don't care how much. I don't know the little girl. I don't know her to dislike her. I blocked her because I didn't like her content and she was coming up on my FYP. I didn't block her because I hated her. I blocked her because she was disrespectful. I didn't like her content. That's why I block most people. Man, I don't need but one thing to block you, because I just don't want you showing up on my shit. I don't even need a good reason.
Oh, there's our TC.
Oh.
That was me.
Oh, that was you? Shit, I thought it was TC first. My bad, Miss DC.
I was like, wait a minute.
Wait. I saw a colorful hat, and I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, hold on. I was like,
I was just trying to make sure it worked.
I was trying to figure out where the
Charlie always say Miss.
It's Mr. DC.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't beat me up.
It's
I'm gonna make
Okay,
so I'm gonna make sure I say Mr. DC from now on. I'm gonna be right.
It's Dad. Anyway, but don't make head big. Don't do that. No, I'm sorry. It's already big. But no, but
I still got
she ain't got no big head. Her head little, but like a real head is little. But
she got a regular head. She got a regular head.
Yeah, she ain't got no big head. I think my head bigger than hers. But anyway, that ain't got nothing to do with it. Anyway, we just get out. See, that's the problem. I be getting off topic for no reason. But I can understand allowing someone in your life because they tick off enough of the boxes to make you feel something or you love them. I understand loving somebody, but it took me a minute to love myself more than I love somebody else. And I think that's what's happened with this young lady. I think all the content, all the fame, all the social media influence and all of that was a lot. And it was beautiful to her. And it was Tim and Brenay. And then it was Brenay and Devin and Akira and Tim. And then it was Tim and Brenay. And then it was the home wrecker. And then it was the hoe. And then it was the she nasty. And why her titties look like that. There's only so many times somebody could talk about why you walk around with your titties hanging out like that. Or why her nails ugly. Because here's my thing. You can't help being fat. It don't go away overnight. You don't just not be fat no more. Your titties just don't shrink overnight. So if that's how you want to play yourself up, cool. But you got to understand that with that comes, there's a downside to that. And we don't really think about that. We like, we can handle it. We can handle it. I can handle it. That's what I think. I can handle it. Fuck them. What they say, fuck them. But the reality is, even now, even if I can handle it, there's gonna be sometimes when you just don't want to hear a motherfucker call you fat. It's gonna be sometimes you don't want to hear somebody talk about your titties or your teeth or your eyes or your hair, or you just sick of it. You just, damn, can't you talk about something else? You can't talk about my content. I'm using me as an example. You don't like me, cool. I tell you all the time, you don't like me, I don't give a shit. Block me. Don't watch my content. That's what I do.
Well, I'm gonna say this also, like where I have something to add to the part where you're talking about the mistress versus the wife. Here's the thing: he has more for him to disrespect his wife, the woman he ultimately loves and has children with. What do you think he'll do to you? You don't mean that much to him. You think you do, but you don't. Because he would, if she would take him back, he would leave that other girl in a heartbeat. They're doing it for the fame and the back and the forths and the drama and all this. And I think for a lot of people that this social media, to add to that part, that it becomes like an addiction. Like you want that drama,
Absolutely.
you want that, up. So they're up in the ante. You know what I'm saying? And for him, I think it was the chase of it all. Can I get her? She wants me. Let her, and I don't think he really truly but he's cheated on her before, you said. So she was just, hey, she's easy, she's free, she's offering, I'm gonna take.
But I understand, because here's the thing. Because we can only go from what people have been posting. Because I don't know them. It ain't like me sitting at the house and Brenay called me yesterday telling me what went on. So I don't know them. But from what I understand, Brenay knew Tim before he married Akira. Brenay and her sister Karen had both slept with Tim.
Ooh, Lord.
People even think, and now understand, Brenay and Karen are twins. And they look just alike. Karen's a little bit cuter because she's not as... I feel like Brenay plays up to the caricature of herself. And she's cool with that. But I know that it's got to eat her ass up the way people talk about her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I feel that, because I have been talked about like that. Not to the extent that she is, but even a little bit of talking ain't cool like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Brenay knew Tim before he married Akira. In comes Akira. They get married. They have kids. Brenay took Devin, her husband's virginity. For one thing. You know what I'm saying? Well, and somebody said that, I don't know, somebody said that Brenay took Tim's virginity. I'm like, she just out there snatching virgins. Like, I don't know. And again, I don't know if that plays into the story, but I don't know if I'm not trying not to be ugly at what it is. I'm just like, I don't feel bad, because here's the thing, she's not a child. She knows what she's doing. She knew every video she filmed because she set up the camera. And here's the thing. Here's my thing. It's just like with cheating. When you post a video, and I'm not talking about a live, because a lot of them were lives, but some of them were posts. When you post a video, you have 1,000 steps between the time you take the video and the time you post it for public consumption. And at any time during that situation, including editing, you could have took something out, you could have changed the way something looks, or you could have not posted it at all. So the reality is, I give her grace, because I know how it feels for people to talk about you, even people that don't know you. However, you made the decision, Brenay, to post these videos. You made the decision, Brenay, to go live and do these things. You made the decision to actively help him cheat on his wife, and he made the decision with you to actively cheat on your husband. So the reality is, I feel sorry for her, because I know nobody can constantly be berated like that and not feel some kind of way in their spirit. However, The reality is the blame is sitting on their shoulders because this is all played out in social media. The only reason we know about it is because TikTok is popular. Because people like to post and they think that they don't have to work anymore. I can just go around my day every day, filming all my day, and I'll post it, and people gonna give me money, cash apps, gifts, and things like that. People begging. I hate when people do that. That irks my spirit. There was a dude on. I don't know if he's trans. I don't think he's trans. I think he's just gay, but he does what a lot of guys do, dress up like a woman to make content. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he was on a live, and there was a young lady that was, I think she was a Trump supporter, but she was also had Down syndrome, so she was also disabled. And he was on there talking reckless to her, talking sexual to her. Like you won't, just dumb shit, right? So after he got canceled for however long he got canceled, and people started, blocking him and unfollowing him. A few weeks later, he comes back on there talking about, this is what I do. I am who I am, and y'all gonna pay my rent. And I'm looking at that. It came across my timeline because somebody reposted it because I blocked them. And I was like, do people actually do that? Do people actually do that? Think that bad or good, I'm supposed to part my ways with my money because of you? Bitch, you will be homeless fucking with me.
No.
You will be sleeping in your car, eating off the dollar menu, waiting on me to give you anything.
People don't have to give nobody a dang thing. It's if people choose.
I hate when people do that, but she was doing that too. On top of the viewership getting her, getting paid because she had so many followers. Because she's not an influencer, because there's not a restaurant I would go to after her ass got through eating on that show, because I don't like mukbangers, and I don't like people who over exaggerate shit. And then she got her nails in the food, and that's fucking nasty to me, because the hands are the nastiest part of the body, and you got them long ass, fake ass, ugly ass. So she couldn't be an influencer, because you couldn't influence. You can de-influence the shit out of me. I'll see you put something on and I don't want it no more, but you couldn't influence me to do shit. So she's not an influencer. She's not getting brand deals. Lane Bryant is not calling her up asking her to wear their shit on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
So it's not, because when you're a content creator, the thing is to be an influencer. The thing is I want somebody to see my content and go, oh, boom, I'm going to get Lisa to do this. I'll see if she'll promote these pots and pans when I was cooking. I'll see if she'll promote this game. We were doing challenges like that. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing, because you want brands to come to you, brands to send you stuff. Like, y'all listen to me. So a brand will send me some whatever, and I open it on live and we go through it, and I say, hey, y'all go buy this. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal. I don't want shit Brenay got coming to her house. And I don't want to go to the brand and send her something and think that what she doing is cool. So you ain't making money off of influencing nobody. When people sending you money, and people don't realize, people will see. I have sat up there, because baby, listen to the B section. She listens. She don't participate. She don't do nothing. But she'll listen, because sometimes it's funny. You be like, God damn, what they cussing about? One time I was listening, and one somebody said, I know she talked for 2 minutes without breathing. That bitch had to pass out after she said all that. And all I heard was funky bitch, hoes, flat. I was like, what the hell did they do? However, I've also listened to somebody say, I'll pay you. I think she said, baby, did somebody pay somebody $500, drop somebody out the calendar block or something? Dude, she sat up there and said, if somebody paid somebody who was having a live like we having, somebody come to me and say, I give you $20 to drop and block Charlie. What the hell kind of shit is? I'd be so confused when they do that. But a lot of people ain't giving you money because you're the shit, or because they like you. They giving you money because they want you to do something they ain't got the balls to do.
Yep.
You think you get? I think a lot of people think that they're getting these money and these gifts and things because, oh, they love me. No, because they know you're gonna do something stupid, because you're their favorite stupid ass show of the week. And I think that's where she gets her money from. And she thinks these people are down with Brenay. And I'm sure there are people who are down with Brenay. I'm positive. I don't know. Oh, okay. She said, Leilani said she tried it.
Yeah, she said from her PC it works, but from the phone it doesn't. See, I'm on PC. That's what I think. They just did this rollout on StreamYard where you can choose vertical or you can choose landscape, and I think that being on a phone, which is crazy because
Right.
this is supposed to be meant for phones, you would think it would work for a phone,
Right. But maybe you can't have but two people when you like this.
I don't know. Hey, TC, you want me to drive Boo and you try, or Miss Leona and see if that'd be a thing? Well, no. Miss,
Oh, they can go. I don't know.
yeah, so I
Oh,
don't.
I don't know. Yeah, we just tried. We just saw this today when I did this because I told baby I was like, she was like, no, you could always do it. I'm like, look here, I know I didn't see that.
No, I was new today because I tried it. Let me tell you what it did to me this morning. I had to end my live and start a whole brand new one because when I started it, I clicked both, right? Landscape and portrait. I was like, ooh, look at me. I'm going to do both. It starts up 2 lives. So you'll have people in different lives. And this is the vertical version. So if you want to do vertical lives, and the other one's for regular, which is landscape, which is regular lives, right? And I ended up having to end my live because it was so weird. I was like, I ain't even messing with this no more. I'm just gonna stick with my landscape.
Well, we were just trying the vertical. I mean, I don't particularly like it up and down like this. I like it when it's spread out on the scene, but we was trying to see if it was different. So I don't know. But I just can't. I can't. Cause when DC and I first did this channel, it was DC by herself. And then she started doing videos with me and them, and people started asking for me, "Where's Lisa?" They still do it. And so it became DC and Lisa. And I wasn't big in the videos at first. And it's just
Miss
because
Lisa,
that wasn't my thing. I'm not
can I tell you something?
What's it?
I think that you're amazing as a CC.
Oh, thank you.
And the fact that you have the gift of gab that you have, that is an actual really big thing in live streams. Because that's what most people want. They just want to talk to somebody. You giving content while also, talking to your chat and engaging with people and giving something to relate to, and you funny. Man, you about made me spit my drink out a couple times. Which time I almost got choked on my Dr. Pepper over here. You almost had to call 911 on Charlie.
Please don't die. I mean, well, I think I was telling the other day, I said I think I could kill somebody because I did something and I was watching TV. Then I realized I was like, because I tell baby all the time, they should be dead. I do. Should be watching the show, and I'm like, why they ain't killed him already? But then that's on TV. So I think I could kill somebody, but please don't die because I don't know if I really could. So
we think we gangster like that, then find out we really not.
Yeah, right. I'm a thug until the thug come out, and I'm like, oh, I'm a bitch. Like,
but I must say this, that I seen part of that situation. I haven't followed it fully. There's a few things on TikTok. I'm just gonna tell you, if y'all ain't been watching some of the drama over on TikTok, it be getting crazy. There's Miss Heidi Black. I watch her in the mornings a lot, and she be talking about some of them TikToky people. And there's this one woman they be covering, and she's always begging and scamming for her drug addiction. Now she wound up supposedly pregnant, child. I'm like, Lord, no, Jesus.
What are you talking about?
Lisa Richards. Lisa Richards, I think is her name.
It's a bunch of them. It's one chick. It's one chick. I forget her name. I can't think. Anyway, she's in her 30s, late 30s, early 40s. She's around that age, but she always was dating people in their teens, their late teens, 18, 19. People young as her daughter. And they got her off there for a minute. She came back. Because realistically, when I'm on TikTok, a lot of my content that I look at is political, and things like that. I'm not a big DC, pin the link to see if it's clickable. All right. When I'm on social media, when I watch TV, I want to be entertained. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to think too hard. It's like I like horror movies, and if I come across, I love horror movies. If I come across a horror movie, I got to think too much. I don't feel like thinking. That's my problem. I think too damn much.
I'll be telling him, what you going up the stairs for? You know he up there. Why are you going in the basement? You know they can close that door, but how you gonna get out?
See, that's regular.
But you do that though.
That's regular. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm talking about because some horror movies now they try to get all thinky and I don't want that. I want you to kill this motherfucker in the worst way possible. I've been watching this one little horror movie it's called Clowns in the Cornfield, and it's a slasher, and it was good. And I done watched it a couple times. There's another one on
There's one something about some couples. They beat the crap out of that killer, and it was awesome. That dude, he was the one that was going around. He had hearts on his eyes.
Oh yeah, the Hard Eyes was good. I liked Hard Eyes.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, beat him, kick him real good.
But I don't understand why anybody ever got no goddamn gun.
I don't either. I'm like,
Ain't nobody ever got no gun. I was watching a horror movie the other night, right? And he was a cop. He had a fucking bat by the bed. And he wasn't a cop, he was a fireman. He had a bat. Where's your gun? Why do y'all not have no gun?
because you know it'd be
Nobody
overfilled.
ever has a gun. Let me tell y'all something. Scream would have ended in the first 20 minutes if you'd had a gun, because I was a person. Why is you answering the door? Why are you looking out the window? Why are you not upstairs locked up with a gun cocked and ready? Come to the door. I don't understand that. Why you go up the stairs instead of out the front door? Why you go in the basement that has no access to the outside? Why the fuck you go in the basement in the first place? Somebody said something that the first place you go is the basement when you hear who's down there. Nobody, bitch, this your house. This is my thing. If we get a house, I told baby the other day, we was talking about something. And I was laughing and joking because I said, if we came across a house that was $100,000 and it was a big house and it was haunted, we about to be ghost roommates. If I said we about to be ghost roommates. However, I buy a house and anybody told me that this bitch haunted. And I go in the house and I hear people walking in the ceiling. I hear motherfuckers tapping on the wall. Or I hear somebody downstairs cranking up a damn, what's some things you cut trees down with, chainsaw in the basement? That's about to be your motherfucking house. That's your house. That's you and your house. Baby gonna be like, where you at? At the hotel. Why you ain't home? Why you ain't home? Cause that's his house now. That's Jason, Freddie, the demon. Who the fuck ever? That's his house, baby. What you talking about? You go if you want to. You better. I told her, I said, look here, let me tell you something. I watched Supernatural. And,
I love that show. Ooh,
and Dean has taught me that you don't go in basements. You don't go in attics. You make sure you have a gun. Get you some holy water.
I always had the salt too.
Believe that shit can kill you. And say no to everybody.
And why they always, this is what kills me. When you in a horror movie, they always going, hello, like the person's gonna go, hey.
Right. Or because I done got into watching what's the shit called? I done got into watching found footage or people doing shit like that, ghost hunting, right? I like them because they're stupid. And you know somebody about to get their face eat off. Because it's a few real quote unquote reality ghost hunters that I'm waiting for a ghost to just eat their face on camera. But that's not neither here nor there. So they go into what is a haunted, what is an established haunted, whatever. A hospital, hotel, prison, house. Pick your chick. Pick whatever you want to go in. They go in there, they set up all this electric shit, and then they get to talking to the ghosts. If you're in the room, make the light go off. Make a noise. Close a door. Open a drawer. Do something. Now, if they don't do nothing, then you got the fool to come out the back that's trying to be the star of the show. Oh, so you're a coward. Oh. I'm like, why the fuck are you hollering at the ghost?
You gonna F around to find out with the ghost?
Why are you what you call it when you what do you call it when you mean mug somebody, baby? Y'all call it something when you look somebody up and down. Yeah, so that's the thing. She said, why are you gritting? I'm like, I look at that, I'm like, I'm waiting for why are you calling the ghost out like y'all about to fight? Like it's 3:00 and you in school and you waiting for the bell to ring. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't understand that. I don't understand why you just I don't understand a lot. Kill them. Don't go outside. If you are in your house and somebody come in, if I'm in the house, Nick is in Tennessee or wherever the hell he at. I don't never know where my baby. I don't even know where he is. I think he in Tennessee. He over there in that base. He there. I know that my other children are upstairs. So the only people, and I know my wife is in next to me. So anybody coming in this house at night is going to catch a bullet. I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to sit up there. I ask for forgiveness. I'm not going to ask permission. You come in here, you're going to hit a bullet. Now, will you die? I might not hit you in your head or your heart, but I'll shoot you in your ass. You going to catch a bullet coming up in here. I'm
No,
not going to ask
I'm
you who
taking
that
them
is.
out because they ain't even gonna get me for no assault charge. I'm taking them out. Nowadays they be trying to get you because you taking care of your business. You.
Well, no, I would rather for an assault charge because you even when justifiable homicide, because a lot of places don't have self defense. It has to be justifiable homicide. You still have to go through the investigation. I'd rather just get an assault charge with a deadly weapon, and then I go, well, they broke in here.
I'm from
I
the
am
SIP,
just,
so you could
I
just
am
touch my
disabled.
dough. You just touch the dough knob and I got you.
I am disabled. See, I don't do that either. If somebody outside, I'm gonna just call the police because that's their job. Everybody sit up there and the police talk about all this stuff, and everybody has this reverence for the police when 90% of them don't do the job. If your husband right now was whooping your ass on a regular basis, you'd have to wait till he killed you before they would come get him out your house.
Uh-huh.
So no, but however, if you can't get in my house and you just outside trying to get in, I'm gonna call the police. That's all we pay for this ring camera.
Oh no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just making the statement that in the state
How?
of Mississippi, the law is if you even like if you're inside your car and somebody is trying to break into your car, you can do
Yeah. I mean, the
same
South is
thing.
good like that. The South is good like that. It's a lot of the more northern states and the more populated states, but the South is good about that. My grandma is nothing of 5 feet. She is 4 feet 10. Libby thing. She's a Libby thing. And she
Don't
had a
mess
gun
with that
damn
little bitty
she
thing.
had a
Don't.
gun damn near long as her arm. And she walked around and say, I can't see, but I would shoot your ass. I'm like, don't kill the squirrel. I don't know what that is out there. Because I remember somebody was trying to get in our front door. Now we had we had a thick wood, solid wood, not a corridor, but a solid wood front door. And it was thick. And I could hear somebody trying to get in it. And my mama had went and got the gun and she was standing, she had turned the light on in the little foyer by the front door. And she was saying, I can't see good, but I'll shoot shit at you. I was like, all right, in Oakland. No.
You don't
But
mess with that little 4'10" woman.
no. So grew up with the bullets. Make no mistake about it. As soon as I was old enough to hold a weapon, my granddaddy was teaching me how to shoot. I tell anybody. The South does not play. But when it comes to weaponry. And they teach them young. I didn't hunt. No, I didn't hunt. I was just good to shoot. Because I'd been learning since I was old. Can you pick it up? Let's shoot it. My granddaddy was in the army. My uncle was in the army. My mama was a Marine. My grandmama just liked to fight. So
Yeah, my grandmama just like to fight.
my mama just liked to fight. So
That's my mama. What you talking about? My mama just like to fight. Shoot.
I mean, I still to this day, when Nick went to school, it's the one thing I told him. We have rules. You come home after school or let me know. You don't get ghosts because I need to know where you at because I'm gonna think that you did. Even if you sitting outside on the step talking to your homeboys, so just let me know where you at. Don't start none, but make sure you finish every last one of them.
That's what I was taught.
And if they teachers and administration got something to say, call me. Don't ever be mad to call me because when the teacher or somebody asked me, well, he ain't never had that. We never had any issues like that. It's hard now. It's crazy looking back that a lot of the things that we talk about that we would do or what happened, I never had any issues with him like that. But he knew that one, I'm coming, and two, I got his back. And we'll discuss whether he right or wrong when we get home. I'm not doing that in front of these people. Because when you start bowing and scraping in front of people to appease them for your loved ones, they're going to use your loved ones. Schools will do it. If a school will know that Nick ain't got no backup at home, they'll dust shit off. Absolutely not. Now, we've never had to go through that. That's true though. Brittany said, "Come down." See, that's the thing. Brittany is DC's daughter, but that's her brother all day, twice on Sundays, because they're all born. The Kennard parties, all the children are born in December, and they're born within a weekend, 14 years on a week of each other. But they just so alike, it's crazy. And at one point, she was like, because I said something happened with Nick. I don't know what it was. She said, "Do I need to go up there?" If you
She's
want
like,
to.
I'm ready. They trying to mess with my brother. Who messing with my brother? Let me go get him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? And I get that. But you don't, that goes to, people don't understand that goes to a lot of, hold on. Absolutely. Absolutely, Leilani. You tell your kids that, and I make no mistake about it. You're not going to just dust my baby under the rug because you don't want to go up against the school board or because the other parent got more money than I don't give a shit. The other parent can get hit like you can. What?
My mama was the same way. They didn't want me to. I know. I'm gonna tell you something. Here's the crazy part. My principal in high school knew my mama when they were kids. My mama used to whoop his tail when they were little kids. And I'd be like, "Do you want me to call my mama?" "No, please don't call your mama." I had that mama that they didn't want me to call. They would beg me not to call my mama. "Please don't call your mama.
See,
Please don't call your daddy."
see, you're a smart ass. He was like, "Go on, call her. See what happens." You call her. You're not afraid? Go on, call her. I'm gonna tell him when I get home anyway. That's Killer Party Wood.
Well, I'm gonna say this because you got a good kid. Because here's the thing: we know we're not in the wrong. I was the same way as a kid. I'd be like, "Yeah, call my mama, call my daddy right now, right now. I don't want to, no, because they'd be trying to do that. You want me to call your mom? Yes, please do.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell my mama everything that you just did, and my mama know me and know I ain't no liar, and so you finna get got."
I may lie, but my mama got my back, so I don't care whether you call her or not. I ain't care.
Well, I was like Kevin Hart. I was putting 10, 20 on 10. You know when he told the teacher all that stuff.
Yeah. But see, I didn't. The thing about it was, I was raised differently, and because I had Nick late, there were things that I wanted him to experience because I experienced them, and there were also things I wanted to change because they didn't help when my mama did them. I didn't really spank Nick because I know spanking me didn't help, but I know that he didn't like the disappointment.
Yep, that heart hurts better than that
Yeah.
butt does.
So I didn't really spank him. But I didn't really have any issues with him till he got older. And that's the reality. Little boy, the reality is, and I couldn't know exactly how he was going to handle the situation because I was a girl and not a boy. But I knew that if I had his back, and I knew that if I was down for what he was down with publicly, I could whoop his ass privately, however I wanted to. And we were talking about that the other day because he had called and he asked me something. He calls every Sunday. And he calls his pop. He FaceTimes every Sunday. And they talk first. And then I come in later. Sometimes I just tell him, hold your phone up so I can see his face. Make sure he got all his face, his ears and nose and stuff. Because they be over there talking. But he called and we were talking. And he just asked me, I forget why he asked me. He said, "Hey, so I'm out of school. I ain't there no more." He said, "Did them teachers ever call you all them times I ain't go to class?" I was like, "No." And then DC was like, "Well, we saw it on the parent view, but nah, they ain't called." I told Nick, I think teachers called twice the whole time we've been in school, from kindergarten to 12th grade. I think I got a call twice, maybe 3 times. And because for whatever reason, adults love my son. I don't know why. And I think it's home training, because people think home training mean you act good at home. The hell it do. Home training mean you know how to act in public.
Yep. And at home you act a fool all you want to at home. But in public you better be acting right on your P's and Q's.
People don't understand home training ain't got nothing to do with your house. I don't know why we call it home training, because the most well-behaved children in public are demons at home. But Nick really wasn't a demon. He was just a boy. He was just smelling himself and getting older and pushing boundaries. And he knew, because I told him, I said, "Let me tell you something." I said, "I can go into all these things and lecture you and do all this shit that other parents do, but the reality is you're the captain of your ship. You're in control of whether or not you have the things that you want. You're in control of your games. You're in control of your phone. You're in control of your setup in your room. You're in control of whether or not you can come and go as you please. You're in control of your curfew. I said, because as long as you do abide by what we say and you do what you're supposed to do, then you know that you'll get the things that you want. I said, however, you also know that if you decide this the day you're going to buck and do what you want to do and you get caught, there are consequences to your actions. So you got to decide if you cool with not having your phone for a couple of weeks. You got to decide if you cool with not playing on the computer, not playing your PlayStation. You need to have every PlayStation since the PlayStation 2.
The same
He
thing
had
about
every
my
Xbox
son.
since every Xbox since 360. At one point, he
My,
had both of them.
well, see, my son's
Just
also on in PCs, gaming PCs, so he actually has a desktop right now that costs over $1,000.
he at Nick and the killer part is as soon as Nick was old enough to get a work permit, he got a work permit so he could work. Not because I wasn't providing, but because he wanted to get what he wanted. He wanted to get his gaming PC, so he bought it. But
Yep.
did I get his PlayStation 4 and 5? Absolutely. 3, 4, and 3, 3 had all of them. Did I get his Xbox? Did he have an Xbox and a PlayStation at the same time? Absolutely. Because he didn't do anything not to get it. But he also knew that at any given time, that shit would be sitting down here in our closet. And that was all on him. And he was like, why you ain't never say nothing? I said, because you kept your grades up. And when your grades dipped, you brought them back up.
No, he did just try one time.
Yeah, he tried.
He tried when he went on a cruise ship and tried to stay home. And Charles told him that
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that time. Yeah, because that time, Charles took everything out of his room. He knew that he'd get in trouble. And he knew there was enough adults in that house that he couldn't get caught, that he could get caught. So we was on a cruise and Charles took his TV and everything out of his room.
Kids know and try. They always try at least once or twice. But like my son, he lied to me one time in his entire life, and I got him on a good one because the next time that he tried to tell me the truth, I didn't believe him. And then I found out the truth. And I, as an adult, I apologize for not believing. But at the same time, I told him, I said, see, this is why we don't lie. Because see right there, and if you lie to me, you're going to get in 10 times more trouble than if you were to tell me the truth.
Why don't they believe that? Because Nick had to find that out the hard way. Because it got to the point, he wasn't lying so much as just not saying what was going on. And I was like, and I told him, I said, look, I said, if you come and tell us what's going on, then we got your back. But if you lie to us, we can't trust you. And I said, it's not just that the lie is going to be a part of your punishment for whatever it is you lying about. It's just the fact that the next time I'm going to side eye you, and I don't want to side eye you. That's my baby. That's my heart. That's my baby.
I side-eyed him, and I think that made him learn, because he did that at a younger age, right? And I think that taught him a very valuable lesson. Sometimes I wish he wouldn't tell me some things.
Baby. So I've been home one day. Because normally I work Monday through Friday, right? And I would work while he was in school, was when I was bartending. And one day I didn't feel like going in. I think I had a headache. I don't know why I didn't go to work that day. Shit. It could have been because I just didn't want to go, or I didn't feel good. I don't know. But I was in the bed and he was getting ready for work. He was getting ready for school. He came down. He said, Mom. I said, yes. He said, are you going to be at home today? I said, yes. He said, okay, this is what you're going to do. I said, okay. You're going to come pick me up at 1:47.
oh, I remember that.
I said, what? He said, yeah. You're going to come pick me up from school. You're going to call up to the school and tell me to come to pick me up at 1:47. Now, here's the thing. I wasn't going to do it, but I was like, you know how you stop and you had to go 140? In my head, I'm going, what the fuck is it 1:47? Why specifically at 1:47? What the hell is 1:47? So I go to him and I go, and I'm going to ask him, what the hell is 1:47? Is that a room? He said, no. He said, at 1:47 p.m., you're going to pick me up from school. I said, what the hell is going on? Why am I picking you up at 1:47? I just don't want to stay. I was like, huh? I said, you got a test or something you ain't studied for? He said, no, I just don't want to be there. I said, boy, if you don't care your ass class, get the hell out of my face. I'm not going to pick you up. He said, are you sure? I said, boy, who do you think you're talking to? I'm not your friend. He said, yeah, but you come pick my 147, can't you? I said, what the fuck is 147? He said, because that's just the time I want to leave school. I told him, I said, if you don't get out here, leave me alone. And I did not pick him up. Did I think about it? Sort of. Because I was off, and I'm normally not off during the week. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really get to spend that time together during the week. And did I contemplate it? I might have. I don't remember what I not. I like, we could go out and get lunch or something. But then I thought about, see, if I do that, then he think he won. And he cannot win. I'm very competitive. If he came to me the
I
night
love how they
before,
come up with the perfect 147, like the exact time.
I mean, just the only reason I remember it because of the 147. And I mean, if he'd came to me the night before and said, hey, mom, I only want to go to school half day, we can hang out. You know what I'm saying? I guess because I wasn't off. He didn't know because normally I work. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't have been like, I guess something you could plan. And now I'm thinking about it. It wouldn't have been nothing he could plan. But if he came to me and said, hey, mom, I don't want to stay at school all day. Can you come pick me up on half a day? And you stay at home. If he came like that, but he came to me like he was my homeboy. And we cut school together all the time. Because sometimes he was talking to me one day about something. And he was telling me about, not some girl, but he was telling me about something they did in school that they weren't supposed to be doing. And I just looked at it. And I just let him talk. I just say nothing. And he didn't get in no trouble at school. And I didn't see him do it. So I'm not a punisher on, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna punish you with something I ain't see.
Yeah.
So I didn't see him do it. And the teacher didn't call him. He didn't get no trouble. He still had A's and B's. I didn't give a shit. So he was telling me, and I'm just sitting there looking at him. I'm just sitting there. You know, you ever look at your kids off? Your kids gonna say something so stupid it made you squint. You just look at them like you can't see them, like they're out of focus. I was looking at them like, the fuck? And I said it out loud in my head. I'm going, who the fuck is he? Why is he? I don't want to know that. The fuck? But I let it talk. And then I asked him after he got it all out, I said, do you know who I am? I said, why you tell me all that? He said, because you told me I could talk to you. I said, well, shit, maybe I need to rethink that. And he just bust out laughing and went upstairs too, because he's not a cuddly kid. You know what I'm saying? He's he's when he wants to be. Because he'll be upstairs for a week and a half. And then on day 12, he'll come down here and sit in the bed with me and we'll watch a movie.
Mine too. It's like I have to sometimes check. Did you wash your ass? Did you eat? Because I make food and everything. And sometimes I put it in the fridge. I tell him your food's in the fridge. Sometimes he'd be awake. And then other times, like when we having a day when it's like, you know, you have the sandwich day or whatnot.
Right.
I have to ask, did you eat? Did you wash it? Okay. All right. Love you. You don't see them for a couple of days. Sometime when they get older, they think they don't need you no more because they can cook and they can clean. And he keeps his room clean. I don't have to clean his room. He does it all his own. And on laundry day, he brings me his. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. When I say he helps me unload the dishwasher, washes it. Yeah, he's a good kid.
He bad. He wasn't bad. You just had to tell him.
He almost 18, but he keeps his room pretty much spotless. You know, I have to every once in a while I'll go in there with the vacuum cleaner or whatnot. But other than that, he keeps his room clean.
DC was not going to have that shit. I was not cleaning his room. I was not going to clean his room because DC was saying, you're not cleaning his room. I was like, I could clean his room. She was like, no, you're not, because he going to clean his room. I was like, all right. So, whatever. So, let me see. Leilani said, all them beatings I got did nothing but being told I disappointed someone hurt my soul. Absolutely. Absolutely. My kids are great home training, but at home, they harass the hell out of me. They do. And I'm fine with that. The reality is I'm cool with that. Because when they get in trouble, because when you're a kid or any relationship, and you know that person ain't got your back, that's another level of stress and hell, that's another level of devastation, depending upon the situation. If the person that's supposed to love you ain't got your back, and that goes with a parent, with a spouse, with a boyfriend, girl, hell, a friend. So even though I laugh and joke about some of the shit he would tell me, and I was like, Boy, I'm not a teenage boy. If you don't go leave me alone. But in my head, I'm glad that he would do it because he knows that I got his back. He knows that if it's possible to be done, that in this house where we live at least 4 people got his back. 4.5, you count Penelope.
My son, I'm gonna tell you that he knows. That's one of the reasons he knows that I got his back no matter what. He knows that he can come to me about anything and everything. That Mama's always got that open door policy. You know what I'm saying? If you need to come talk to me about something, we need to have a conversation. You want to go watch a movie, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes he'd be talking to me about quantum physics and I don't understand, but I try to follow along anyway.
Yeah, I hear
you
that.
know,
I mean, it's like I don't know. It's just it's that kid. You know what I'm saying? He my kid, and I didn't never think I was gonna be nobody mama. And then I was a mama, and then I was a boy mom, and then I was a teenage boy mom, and then I was trying to make sure he had extracurriculars and things to do. And it's just as a parent, no matter how good you are, you never think you're good enough. And it's when you see them doing stuff that you go, I wasn't that bad. Now that I look at him and I see him doing the things he want and listen to him speak, and I was like, all right, I did my job. You know what I'm saying? And I still look at him. It's like we was talking to him yesterday. And I told him, I said, I know I tell you all the time. And I tell you because I want you to never forget how proud I am of you, not just for who you can be, but for the man you are right now. And I said, because you still you. And I tell him you're a good dude. And I'm proud of that. Because there the only thing you leave behind when I'm gone, it doesn't matter how much money I have. It is the legacy and the memories of me that are my true legacy. And if that's what I'm leaving behind, my kids, I'm good. I had to look at things because growing up, there were a lot of expectations on me as far as my intelligence and how I looked and my talent. And I didn't explore it. And sometimes I look and say there was so much untapped potential. And I say that's about myself because I didn't do it. It was nobody else's fault. But then I also realized that as much as I don't have or didn't do, there's a lot that I have done and do have. And I look at my life, I look at my wife and my kids and my grandkids, and I realize that if I were to leave here tomorrow, I've left an amazing legacy of laughter and love and kids. And I'm
and
cool
good
with that.
memories. And
And
good
I'm cool with
memories.
that. You know
They
what I'm
can look
saying?
back on mama and go, you know what, my mama did that right there, and have funny, happy, good memories and not bad ones. You know what
And
I'm
I'm
saying?
cool with that. And I'm cool with the legacy I leave online. It's I'm cool with, like I tell you, when I get off here in a few minutes, because we've been on here almost 2 minutes. When I get off here in a few minutes, I always thank y'all. And I thank y'all not just because I thank y'all because I really appreciate the support and the people that watch our videos, that laugh and interact with us. Because it doesn't matter if it's 100, 1,000, 10,000, or a million. I appreciate the fact that you taking your time out of your day to listen to me talk shit. And if I could help one person, that's why I do a lot of videos about relationships and young women and kids. Because if I can help one person, if I could stop one sadness, if I can make one person laugh, I'm good.
You know, you just said what I say every day. If I can make one person smile that day or one person laugh, that's why I'm so goofy. Miss Lisa, that's why I'm so goofy. I do mental health awareness on my channel and all that stuff is reach one, teach one, and help people. You know what I'm saying? And like today, we were talking about the system and how broken it is, and people playing these CPS games and how they can hurt kids. You know what I'm saying? So it was a large conversation, a heavy conversation. But sometimes those conversations are needed to be had, right?
Yeah.
And if I love just being that goofy person that tries to make people laugh. If I could make one person's laugh turn around one day, like I'll go up on a panel when I know somebody's PO'd and they're mad and they're upset and everybody's just like downtrodden. I get up there and I just act goofy and people just start smiling and stuff. If I could make one person smile, and if I get more than one, I'm doing better than I was. You know what I'm saying? But if I could just get one, I did something for that day.
Yeah, it's I ain't gonna lie. I don't be on YouTube like that, y'all. Shh, don't tell
I
nobody.
do.
I don't be on YouTube like that. But I, because I'm scared I'll be the one up on a panel, all of a sudden I'm in somebody beef and I'm like, ooh, ooh. It's like, ooh, ooh. Let me back up out of here. You know what I'm saying? But I try to, the majority of what I talk about is experience, is
Mhm.
is things I've seen, people I've come in contact with, and the things I wish that were changed from when I was younger, the things that are still going on. That sometimes it's like I shouldn't still be having to have the "I stay because I love you" conversations. I still shouldn't have to have the baby mama number 5, baby daddy number 3 conversations. I still shouldn't have to have the "he's gonna change for me" conversations. I still shouldn't have to have the "but he said that she didn't understand him" conversations. Because I'm thinking I am damn near 60 and I'm thinking that we should have evolved beyond that. That by this time women should know that no, he's lying. If he's still at the house with his wife, he's still sleeping with his wife.
Mhm.
If he ain't take care of his kids, he ain't gonna take care of yours. If she don't want no kids, knocking her up is not gonna make her your woman. Somebody else's husband is not your soulmate. Somebody else's wife is not your princess. Now you wait till they get divorced. See, that's the whole thing with this particular situation and the way it's playing out. It should be a wake up call, but I promise you, on everything I love, there are going to be young women and young men who look at this Tim and Brenay and Akira and Devin situation and look at that like, he's not going to do that to me. Even though they see themselves in Akira. There's going to be some man saying, she never treat me like that. Even though they see themselves in Devin. There are going to be women that see Brenay and think I can do that. When she shouldn't be doing that. There are going to be women that look at Tim and go, I bet I can get him. There's going to be somebody out there right now that Brenay is kiki and ha-ha with that'll fuck her man.
Mhm.
And there ain't shit she can say.
Because how you get them is how you lose them.
Right now, because if he would openly cheat on his wife the way he did, he's going to openly cheat on you. He's going to disrespect you. He's going to break your heart. He's going to hurt your feelings because he has no problem doing that. Y'all don't understand. The reality of this is people tell you who they are. Doctors tell you who they are when they dismiss you, and every time you go to the doctor, the only thing wrong with you is fat. Parents tell you who they are when you know that they treat your brother, your sister better than they treat you. Lovers tell you who they are when they disrespect somebody and you think that's respect for you. The reality is everybody tells you who they are. Believe them. Stop trying to read between the lines. Stop trying to make smoke signals out of air. They're telling you who they are. Tim has told Brenay, I will cheat on you with somebody because I cheated with you on somebody. That's just it. flip it around, Brenay is telling Tim, I will fuck somebody because I fucked you on somebody. I will rub up on somebody else because I rubbed up on you when I shouldn't have been. I will let somebody else feel up on my titties because I let you do it. I let you disrespect me, so I will let somebody else do it. Believe what somebody say and don't think that you can change them or make it better. Nobody changes because you change them. They change because they want to change. They want to be a different person. They want a different outcome. But the reality is the majority of people who do fuck shit like fuck shit, and they're going to keep doing fuck shit. And you can't change that. I used to tell people who would get with me all the time, if you want me to be skinnier, if you want me to act different, that means you don't want me. And that's fine. But don't act like you want me so you can hurt me. Because trust me, strangers hurt you just enough. You ain't got to have folks sitting up there lying to you, talking about how much they love you, hurting you as well. That is why I do these. That is why I say what I say. That's why I go off on my little high horse rants like I'm doing now. Is because you got to keep telling these motherfuckers over and over again. They're not going to change because you said so. If he not take care of his babies, he's not paying child support, he's not seeing his kids, he's not going to do right by yours. And vice versa, if he is doing right by yours and not doing right by his, then why is he with you? Because eventually, baby girl, there's going to be somebody else. Because one person is not enough. Okay. Because if one person was enough, then he wouldn't have did it in the first place. That's the thing. When I was single, I could fuck who I wanted to. I'll tell you in a minute. I don't believe in that whole shit. I don't believe in that slut shit. I'm grown. I do what I want to do. I don't believe in that body count shit because I'm grown. I don't want nobody. That's crazy. It's crazy. Huh?
I want to thank you, Miss Lisa, for having me. I'm going to go ahead and drop down and let you finish out your show. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day. Shout out to Mr. DC. I won't forget that no more. You know.
So next time you have a panel, you want somebody to come up there. I probably don't be on YouTube, but she do. So just hit us a DM and she'll let me know.
Anytime y'all ever want to click my link, if y'all ever want to, just tell me, say, drop the link. I'll be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I just want to send y'all some love like always. And I'm going to try to get my butt over here some more because I love y'all's content. I love watching y'all's cooking content. All of it, yeah. And I hope y'all have a good one. Huggies and huggies.
You too, baby. Bye, y'all. So I'm about to go now because I was summoned to go. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Like I say all the time, I appreciate y'all, and I'm always appreciate y'all. I appreciate your support. I appreciate everybody that came through the chat, came through. Y'all know how I do. Hit me down in the comments if something you want me to talk about. You liked it or didn't like it, agreed or didn't agree. Y'all know I'm down for whatever. So like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video go live, you guys can join us. I love you, Bomb Squad. Thank you so much, Miss Charlie, for being my co-host, Leilani, the hostess with the mostest down there in the comments, making sure everything runs. TC, Magdalene, everybody. If I didn't say your name, that doesn't mean I don't love you. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. And this your girl, Lisa. And I'm out. Bye.
Hey, yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay, hey, yeah, ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Fuck with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom, boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you should try on it. Miss me with all that, I'm on it index. Fuck this up, I send you back to your ex. But good luck with that, this is big as it gets. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey. let me shoot a whole clip. Firepower in this coalition. We just turned the field into a demolition. It was desolate, but I had premonition. I was training for war, every exhibition, every extra mission, every enemy listening. Get off my dick, I got bad intentions. Make it right every wrong, and I'm back with a vengeance. I show you the ropes. Peace in my town, I can show you the coast. Up in the shots if they